Hey everyone, welcome to Bonus Weekend Project. Okay, on Wednesday we did a bingo dauber bag on my long arm walt, and we set it up with a awesome zigzag pattern from a needle Shackleford, sorry, say that correctly. And it's a filler pattern, but you know, if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. And I just put, this is the inside of the bag, so I made sure it was nice pretty colors for the inside and the outside. And I was requested by a friend to do a Disney themed bingo dauber bag, so I have done such things. So this ended up being so big, this one piece right here, because I wanted to make sure I had enough to do this bag, that I could end up making two. So this is what we're going to end up making, but it's just going to be a little bit narrower and the strap's a little bit longer because I wanted to give her two options to pick from. The other one I'm either going to keep or try and sell. Doesn't matter. So, or she can buy them both and give one to a friend. It's up to her. So I've taken what I used for that bag there, and lopped off, how much? 3.5 inches. Don't need it. That almost with my teacup. That would not be good. Okay, so, and then what I've done, I've taken a strip of the material that was on the band here and then put a nice purple, bigger piece of cloth. Anyway, sorry, it's just like this. So you got like 6 inches and 4 inches. And then you just sew those two together and you get a little bit of color on either side and a nice solid color on the inside, okay? So I've pinned that there, and then because of the way the bag goes, I don't want to put that Mickey one over here because that just looks dorky. So I did, same as what I did over there. What did I do? Okay, I put the ears on the one side and the Mickey on the other to match up. So it looks just as like you wouldn't have missed it, right? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do, since we've done that one, we need to do the opposite side. So I've got it all set up here. I have my bias tape on the floor here like a big snake, because I buy like lots at a time. I don't even remember what the yardage was we bought last time, to tell you the truth. It was, I think we just finished up the roll. Okay, so just going to do a nice little seam down here. 3. Okay. Hopefully you can see that okay. We're getting a new camera, or we have a new camera that's actually going to go over top. And you can see everything this way without my fat hands in the way. So what we have to do is sew these outside pockets on first before we stitch the rest of the bag together. And then we're going to do bias tape all the way around the edge, and then put the strapping on, and then we are done. And then we box out the corners, and we're done. And because it's bias tape, you don't have to worry about doing anything else with those corners. You could trim it if you wanted to, and then bias tape them up afterwards, but we're just holding them on the inside for bag bottom support. And this is just a smidge bigger than what it needs to be inside of the bag, because I can always trim it to fit. Okay, so now here comes the part you're like, wait a second, how to turn this inside out? Well, you get your little meat hand in there, and you work it all the way over to the other side, like the claw, and grab that, and pinch, and pull, and voila, the magic. And then we are gonna just kind of finger press this. Try and get that color seam, like this beautiful purple, right in the center. Or like on a bit on each side, equal amounts. Okay, if you can. Pop a couple pins in there. And you can either stitch on the Mickey side or the pink side. That's completely up to you. Really? Clearly need new pins. I got some new ones for the long arm though, which is means they're just as sharp, and I better beware. Because those corsage pins, holy bejeebies, they hurt. I had actually it was this the other day. I had this bag pinned up on there, and the pins were right at the belly bar, and I caught my bummy and it really hurt. I was beating. And then I rolled that sucker up so it wasn't happening again. Okay. And then when this goes stitched down, you're going to stitch right on this edge right here. It goes down onto the bag. Okay, now we're going to do the same side. I should put the pins in the wrong way, because I'm a goof that way. So before it gets there. We got a cool project coming up soon. I'm hoping to film a bit of it for Weekend Project. It's a weighted blanket. And then we're going to put it on the long arm too, so it's going to be a long arm Wednesday. So if you like watching the shows, don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your homies. So, see, this is pinned there. So this is going to be this how our bag's going to go. Okay, that's our top. Okay, these are going to be our little pockets. Okay, so we need to make sure that this is lined up properly there. And I was literally lining this pattern piece up to that line. Okay, you see what I mean? It's lined right up. Okay. That line is just stacked right on top of it. I'm going to pin where I've already stitched, even though I'm going to sew right along this very edge right here. Just like the, oh, well, I haven't done it on that side. Sorry. Well, we're going to do them both. Okay. And then put a couple of just stay pins up here so you don't want anything to shift. Not going to be sewing up there yet. Once we get our handles in, after we get our handles in, then you're going to sew the rest of those pocket sections. Okay, going to be one on either side of the strap and one smack in the middle, and then the side parts are pretty much going to form their own pocket on their own. Okay, as you will see. Okay, I think I got that right. Good on there. Yes. Yes. Just matching it up. Okay. I keep sliding in my chair. I'm going to roll over my bias tape. Okay. So we're going to do a little stitch to hold this bottom of our pocket nice and closed so we don't lose our daubers. We'll be losing our daubers and we can't play as bingo. It was funny when I was requested to do this bag, and I was hanging out with my niece. She was come visiting from Calgary. I had two of them were here at the same time, but the younger one, the 4.5-year-old one, we were playing Little Mermaid bingo. And I thought it was just so cute. We had a lot of fun. I had a hard time remembering the names of the characters though, because they had all sorts of ones. Okay, so now that's stitched down. See? Okay, see that's where. Okay, that's all stitched down on the bottom. We're just going to keep that pinned at the top until we get our bias tape on. So we're going to do the same to this side right here, which is going to be the bottom of the opposite side of the bag pocket. Okay. Okay, put that there. Oops. And I did the same thing, I just lined up the pattern. Two thread changes here. We have a white and a black. I mean, I could have used red bias tape, purple bias tape, white. I have black. I did have a yellow, but it wasn't the right kind of yellow, or I would have used it because I thought that would have been nice to pop. It would have been awesome. Okay, so that is also sewing on the bottom of the bag, the bottom of the pocket, sorry. Okay. So now what we want to do is take our bias tape and start somewhere in the black, because it is black, and I chose one corner up here just because it would be inconspicuous, and it would also be on the inside, from here, also on the inside of the quilt, so quilt, I kill the quilt a lot, the inside of the bag. So I'm just going to square this up just a smidge here with these pocket tippies hanging over without nipping off the tips of my needles, because that would not be cool. I think my cutter would go on strike. Okay. Alright. Do a little flippy lulu. And because there was a bit of a space at the top here between the fabric and where I was going to stitch, I did some base stitching at the very, very top where my stitching didn't go all the way from my zigzag. Okay. And the bottom one is okay. So, like I said, I'm going to go from a side that's black, like right here. And you can either do it where you are sewing on the one side, okay, and then you're flipping and then sewing on the other side. Me, because this is already folded, I have just tucked it, folded it, and then pinned it to make sure that sucker ain't going nowhere. And even I had to do a few tweaks on the other one because it missed in a few spots. So just make sure you are tucking the base of this fabric right here, that flat edge right there, to this flat edge on the inside of your bias or binding tape, whatever you want to call it. Trim, flou-fla, don't matter to me. And then just pop in some pins to make sure when you're stitching that down in your black thread, or you can choose purple or yellow or what have you. If you want it to pop, I thought about it. But you know what, I'll just keep it black because some people don't like things as wild as I do. That is finger. Don't poke finger. Hurt. I'm using to put a blood on your project. They can really say, blood, sweat, tears, what into this? Yeah, the sweat from hard working and the blood from the poke and the tears from the crying of the poke. Okay, so when it comes to the edge, okay, on the corner here, sorry, not the edge. I have done just a little, like a tuck. Like that. So it kind of makes a little mitered corner. Okay? Do the best you can. They're not all going to look like that. Okay? Do the best you can. And then make sure you're getting that corner piece and that bottom edge piece. Right down on here, okay? When you're folding. Okay, and just take the time. I know we could probably fast forward through a little bit of this, so it's just going to take time to pin this all the way around. I was trying to think of an easier way and I just couldn't. I was like, blah. I thought, well, you know what? Maybe I could just whip these edges around because I've designed this on the fly. This is my design. Do a serged edge, just serge all the edges, and then put your handles on and away you go. But I didn't. I want more of a finished look. You know what I mean? This is for my friend. She asked me. It's my buddy. Like I said, I don't know what was for her or for someone else or what have you. Like I said, I'll offer both bags up to her and see if that's what she would like, or the best of the best, or she wants more room and she can have the wider one. I really got to get some new pins. It was like 3 in a row. I've got some bent wonky one. Okay, so now here's another corner again. Okay. Fold it, and then we're just gonna tuck it like a little mitered corner. Okay. And then just pin it and make sure you're getting sure that bottom edge is in there. Okay. And turning and all over again. And it sometimes gets a little thick with your sides of your pocket and your batting and everything else. I didn't have to bat this bag. Bat this bag? I'm not sure if that's proper English or not, but anyways, I could have maybe just put a thicker fabric in there, like maybe a hemp or a muslin, or a couple layers of muslin, and just add a couple layers in the bag instead of putting the batting in. But I like it a little textured. I thought it looked really cool. And just show you what a little more you can do with your long arm than just doing quilts. Right? Get your bags, table runners. Not just necessarily with your long arm, but just sewing in general. Right? Doo-doo-doo. I know, just blabbing away. I'm going. Whoa. Did you see that? I just flicked the pin off the table. I better find that or I'm in big trouble. Did the cameraman happen to see where that flew? Yes, thank you, Mr. Cameraman. Please walk with caution. I was teaching a sewing lesson here a few weeks ago, whatever, and the little girl, we dropped the pin on the floor. And she goes, "Oh, that's okay." I go, No, honey, you don't know. We really need to get that. Oh, no. I said, it was pink. I just remember the color of the head of the pin, and we have a hardwood floor, but it was still hard to find. But we did manage. It took a few minutes, but we did not continue sewing unless the pin was off the floor. When you get one of those in your foot at like 2 a.m. on your way to the bathroom, yeah, it's like a Lego piece in the heel. You don't soon forget it. My eldest niece, quite a few years ago, this point, apparently she stepped on one and it snapped in her foot. Oh, I couldn't imagine that. And they had to get it out at the hospital. Oh, wait. Owie. That would not have been good. And that's every time the needle hits the floor, I always think of that scenario. Alright, we are almost at our spot we left. Have you fallen asleep already? Wake up! Okay. Now, what we do... Oh, that was bad. Don't teach you bad habits. Okay, see where our end is up here? I'm going to clip this about here, okay? And I'm going to tuck this under. First, I'm going to get this pinned down first. Okay. Looks like getting that under bit there. Yes, I did. And then we're just going to fold this so I have a nice, clean, flat edge and line it right up. And then just shift that pin that was holding it there before on top. Okay? Like that. I will show the camera in 1 second. It's a little thick there, so be careful when you're pushing your pins through not to go through your hand. Okay? So, there we go. It's pinned all the way around. Okay? I love the insides. This soft blue and the purple with the little diamond-y bit, this bit right here. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so when we're stitching, we're going to make sure that everything is tucked in as we're going along. So, since we've used our white thread, and we don't need my nested bias tape anymore, we'll put it behind the magic curtain. And we're just going to switch out our threads from white to black. Is that black? Yeah, it's the black. Okay. Do-do-do. And I use a lot of big spools because I do a lot of piecing and a lot of sewing. So I use a lot of these big guys. And they don't fit on your normal machine. So a couple years ago, I'm a crossing guard, and I was gifted this box of cookies for my little crossing guard Christmas treat. and it's been used ever since as my thread holder for these big spools, and it works just fine. You could use a Pringles container, or you can use a, I've seen it in Staples. It holds memos, or you puncture the memo through it. You could use that too. So if you use big spools all the time, or want to use big spools and don't know how to use them on your machine. And careful where you're threading it, because my cutter is right next to where sometimes it likes to feed up into for my bobbin. So I try and have the thread off to the side, and normally I have this up so it doesn't catch, but I'll normally just put like something else on top to balance it up, right? Just a smidgy so it's not getting pinched. Or try to. There we go. Okay. Right. So now that's changed. We will start from our side. We overlapped. See, now I've lost it. See, that's good. If you can't spot it. Oh, there it is. Okay. That's a good thing. Okay, we're almost there. We're getting there. So we're going to come down a bit. Move that pin. Sorry, move that pin first. Stick your needle down in your fabric. Okay. And then slowly but surely, making sure you're pushing your fabric up against that edge, okay? And taking your pins out as you go. If you have to come back and do some more work, don't be afraid to unpick and come back. I had to do it twice on that other bag. It just one edge underneath didn't catch, or it had slipped out, or stuff happens. Don't stress. Careful when you come into your corner. Come in nice and slow, and make sure you're getting that bottom part of your binding, and then that top folded miter corner of that other part. I'm just gonna give up on the English. I'm gonna start drinking. Might sleep better. Okay. Okay, I got just that tippy corner. Make sure I'm not taking in the whole desk with me as I'm turning. Take your needles out as you come to them. Pins, what do we call them? The poker thingies. Now, if you have any comments or suggestions, please do. I think there was a suggestion the other day about from Auntie Judy, a crochet bag that we could do up. I don't see why not. Make little pockets for your hooks and your threads and your yarns and your scissors and your patterns and stuff. You want one of those, Auntie Julie? Let me know. Make an awesome Christmas gift. I can even personalize it too. In fact, I will show you something at the end of this bag, just so you all know. I know you know I can do some embroidery, but you don't know all that I can do on the embroidery. For names, anyways. For letters and fonts. I have quite a few fonts. I'm sure you can find something you like. Thanksgiving is not too far away. If you want personalized placemats for your table and all your guests, let me know. You know, think about things early. I'm here. I could be your design chickie. We can make things happen. You set your table all nice up for fall and for Christmas. Oh, okay. See that right there? Okay. Just notice that now. I'm going to come back and restitch it. Okay, it's still on the black on the back side. Must have just popped off there for just a second. There we go. Okay. I want to make sure that under corner there is all tucked in before I come approach this corner again. right, got that edge. It's all in. On the home stretch here, folks. And this is a good way to finish off a bag. If you don't know how to finish off a bag or turn the bag inside out and work in the front and the back, and you gotta leave a little slit and all that sort of, yeah, this is the way to do it. How about her? Put some bias tape on it. One more little corner. Then we can add our straps on. Okay. Okay, so cut that there. Take these pins out and these pins out up here because I don't want to get poked. Alright, so here we have is our little strip of fabric, our big rectangle with our pockets here. Okay, so that's going to go like this and like this. And here's a little pocket. Okay, but we're going to have to add our strap. So what I've done, and this is just cotton stripping from the fabric store. Super easy and really durable. So I think this was 62 inches. And I cut it in half because you need 2 straps, right? Okay. And what I did is I found the center of this bag. Get my little chalky marker here. Where'd it go? Okay. And then a few inches on each side of that center mark, that's where I'll place the straps for the bag. Okay. So this is 16 inches. Okay, so half of 16 is 8. Okay. So we'll go over here, do just a tiny little chalky mark there. And I think I did it, it was 4 inches, is it 3.5? I think it was 4 inches on either side of the chalk mark. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure this is all lining up here correctly. You should have a line on the 1, a line on the 4, and a line on the 8. Okay, if that's how you want to do, because that means there's a strap here and a strap there. That's a good distance for your strap. Okay, and you're going to need the center mark too for when you start putting your line down to separate your pocket. So I'm just going to do a quick little chalk here. You won't be able to see it much on the pink there, but at least it's there on the purple. Okay. So what I want to do is with my little pins, I'm going to pin on both sides where those little chalk marks are. Okay. And since I want them to be nice even handles, you see the pins right here? I can make sure that I'm pinning the second set of handles right where I want them, lining up with the first. Okay, so that's a good tip right there. So now when you're going to separate the bag to lay flat again, you're going to take your 2 strips. A wayward hair bothering my arm there. Okay, take your 1 strip and you're going to fold it over just like a quarter of an inch. And you're going to line it up at the very base of your pocket and put a pin in there, and then you're going to stitch. You're going to stitch 2 times. Okay? And then you're going to do the same. Now this is lined up, you use that pin, and you're using this line. This line is going to be on the outside of your handle. Okay? And then make sure you're not twisting the handle at all. You're coming around in a nice curve. You're doing the same thing on the other side, folding it over a quarter of an inch. You're coming straight down. Should be able just to eyeball it and line it up with it on the other side there. See how it just goes nice and straight. Make sure you tuck that down on the inside here. Okay, I'll show you in just a second what I did. Okay, so I pinned right at the base on the inside of this bag, of this like the pocket for the bag. Okay, hopefully you can see that. And then using the, come on, you need about bent in there, not bent, but fold it over. Okay, and using that, I said on the outside, right? Yeah, it's on the outside. Here's the chalk mark right there. Right, that. Okay, and then we're going to do a couple of stitches. We're going to stitch down here double time and stitch up here double time. Okay, and then that's one of our handles. Okay, So we're going to do that on the exact opposite side. Okay. It's nice and flat. Okay. And this saves you from making handles, if you don't like to make handles. It's hard to get those handles turned inside out when you make them with like a 2-inch strip and a 2-inch strip, and then you have to turn that big huge 2-inch like sock sort of thing or big long tube inside out. So I know there's little mechanisms that you can purchase that go in like a clip, like a little I don't know what else to say, but a little roach clip. Kind of clips the fabric up on the other side and it pulls through like a little wire or like a bendy thingy. So I either got to make one or find one, because there's many projects I could have used it on and got very frustrated in the meantime. Okay. Now making sure this doesn't twist. You don't want this all twisty-loo here. You're going to have some crazy handle. Okay. This comes in a variety of thicknesses and widths. I have a smaller bit that I picked up to make belt loops for pants. So think of it that way too. Think of it many, many different ways. And I wanted to make sure that this bag was easily washable. Like if it got, ink on it or something, or got dirty, or got some drink spilt in it, it was going to be easy to clean up. Okay, so there we go. There's going to be our handles. So we're going to stitch those down first, and then we're going to stitch the inside, the pockets sealing up, and then we're going to flip it inside out and stitch the insides. Okay. So let's do this first. And that's why you do this part first, because you can't get down in here after you make the pockets for it, like when you seal up the pockets. So. And I just go back and forth a couple times. Alright, I'm going to do both while I'm down here in this crevice, so I might as well get them both done. Okay, and then straight up at the top, make sure that handle's nice and straight. And follow your stitch line, you do it with your bias tape. Okay, same on this side. Do a little back stitch. Okay, and there we go. There's one side. Do the other real quick. You just want to make sure those handles are nice and secure to that bag. So when they go to pick it up, it's not going to go anywhere but with them, right? Oops. I hit the wrong button, sorry. Almost there. Only a couple more seams, buddies. Then we're done. Okay. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, all sewn down. Now what we want to do is change our bobbin again, and we want to line up. Okay, little chalk line there. We're going to stitch down this side right here. Or sorry, no, was it the outside? I think it was the outside. Sorry, it was the outside of the strap. This is one pocket. This will be 2, 3, and 4 when we're all done. So it'll still be an 8-pocket dauber. Okay. So I know it's a pain, but I don't want the colors to be, seen from one side to the next sort of thing in a tacky order. So just do. I know it's a pain. I'm sorry, but I'll get switched up as fast as I can. I've done this in my sleep a few times. I've had so much fun with sewing in general, since pretty much discovering this machine too. I mean, even beforehand, I obviously had fun, but this just makes it so much more easier, if it makes any sense. Okay, so we're going to line it up. Double stitch at the top there to reinforce that pocket. And any pressure they're going to put on that pocket, and then double at the bottom. Okay, move it over to the middle. Did I not put my... Okay. Okay, cut. And one more. Next side. And we're going to sew them together, bottom out the corners, and we are D-O-N-E, not B-I-N-G-O. Okay, I didn't mark this one for center, but I'm pretty good at eyeballing stuff, so. Eyeballing you. Can I say, it's the weekend, I could be crazy, it's the weekend. Alrighty. Trim up those threads in the end. Okay. Now what I did for the first time around is actually I sewed one of the handles down by accident. It got caught underneath. It got in my way. Alright, so now that we have our pockets, let's make sure our handles are way out here. Line up our corners. I'm going to grab a couple of my big pins here just to hold it nice and steady. Okay. Line up those corners. Okay. And now we're just going to do a stitch down both sides, okay? Not on the black, right on the pattern side, right beside the black binding, okay? And I didn't go all the way to the top. I started right where my stitching was for the binding and gave a nice secure stitches there. Yeah, there we go. And just coming right close. I didn't leave any needles in. And another little backy step. I know this is going to be the corner, but it's always best to back step. Okay, same here. Pull this out a bit, that out a bit. We'll flip on this side because I want to make sure it's nice and stitched. Now you don't have to box out the corners if this is something you're looking for and you want your daubers to sit that way instead of, you know, with a flat bottom sort of thing, by all means, you know, you count yourself done at this point. Okay, trim up a few little wackadoodles. Okay, next side. Okay, I'll show you what it looks like now, and then I'll flip it back inside out, and we'll box up the corners. Okay. Okay, so. Okay. Two little fingers right into that corner. This sometimes is where a chopstick comes in handy. Okay. Or a small little wooden dowel, or a flat pencil without being sharpened, you know what I mean? Okay, so got a couple little wayward hairs here. So it can be just like that, okay? And then you got all your pockets, okay, for your daubers in your bag like that. But I'm going to box them out just a bit, not a lot. Just enough to give it a little bit of, just a little bit of meat. You know what I mean? Like maybe about that much. Does that look okay? Does that look all right? I think that looks all right. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. Remember, I'm doing this on the fly. It's designed by Lorraine. All right, so what you do, we've done this before, is you take it and you find your point nice and even, And I laid these flat when I was sewing, so I sewed right across. So I don't want to give myself a big bottom. I came all the way out to the edge of this metal the first time around for that first box, for box edge. So I just want to come out just a smidgy. I think I'm only going to go about 1.5 inches, which is right there on my marking on my little table. So I'm going to try and line this up with that. Come to the edge. Sorry, that help a bit. So fluffies. Don't forget to back stitch. It's essential. Keep those stitches in. Don't want all your hard work to go to waste. I mean, that would just be sad to see it falling apart. Okay. Now we're going to do the same to the other side. Flip that little seam open. And nice and flat. Line it up with the 1.5. Come straight down. Sorry. Not sure if that's helping at all, but trying. Great. Okay, now you can take all the time to clip all those crazy little threads off. And I'm just gonna show you our beautiful bag that we made on the long arm and the Janome sewing machine. There we go. Okay, like I said, a couple wavered threads, and we're rocking. Awesome, eh? Perfect. Like I said, give her the choice which one she wants. There's the big one or the little one, and there's only 3.5 inches difference between them. Okay, just think, they're the same height, same everything. Absolutely everything except for 3 inches cut off one side. Okay? See, this would be more my ideal size, but you never know. She may want to carry, like, you know, everything, including the sink. All right. Thank you very much for joining me for this very long weekend project. I appreciate you sticking it all the way out to the end, the 40+ minutes. Thank you so very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your homies. And if you have any suggestions, please make it in the spot below. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Stay tuned for future projects, and we really, really do appreciate this at the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. Take care. New ring wish every time at the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.